ever notice how some people in your life just never seem to change no matter what you do? That friend who always cancels plans, that boss who keeps overlooking you, that partner who just won't commit. It's frustrating, right? But what if I told you that they have no choice but to act the way you expect them to? What if I told you they aren't even real in the way you think they are? Stick with me, because once you understand this, you'll never struggle to manifest changes in other people again. And that includes your specific person. Hello, my beautiful superheroes. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hi. I'm Scarlet Grace, and for years I've been guiding people just like you to unlock the life-changing power of manifestation. I'm passionate about breaking down Neville Goddard's teachings and the principles of manifestation into simple, actionable steps that anyone can use to create the life they've always dreamed of. If you're ready to transform your reality and manifest your desires, hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I post new videos every Sunday to help you master your mindset and manifest your heart's desires. If you want my help to remove what's standing in the way of your manifestation, coaching is available. And if you want a clear, step-by-step way to manifest your specific person, then my 21-day Manifest Your Specific Person course is exactly what you need. You'll find the links for all of those things in the description below. Alright, let's get real for a second. If you keep seeing the same behaviors from the people in your life, whether it's your boss overlooking you, your partner pulling away, or a friend always letting you down, this is not random. It is not just how they are. This is a direct reflection of what you assume to be true about them and about yourself in relation to them. The people in your world can't help but mirror back what you believe. If you think your boss is unfair, they'll keep treating you unfairly. If you assume that your partner is distant, they will keep pulling away. If you believe someone is stubborn and won't change, well, guess what? They won't. But the moment you rewrite that assumption, everything shifts. It's like a hall of mirrors. Every person you interact with is just a reflection of what is going on inside you. If you expect to be treated with love and respect, people will treat you that way. If you assume others are untrustworthy, that's exactly what they're going to prove to be. You, my friend, are the common denominator in every relationship in your life. Change your assumptions and the reflections have to change. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that when you are in a good mood, people seem friendlier? Or when you're feeling insecure, you suddenly notice all the ways people seem to ignore you or dismiss you. Or when you're angry, it's like people woke up with the express purpose of making you explode today. They will do every stupid thing imaginable. They will say every stupid thing imaginable as if they're getting paid to get on your nerves as much as possible. That is not a coincidence. It's proof that the people in your reality are shifting based on your inner state. But here's the part that most people miss. It is not just about emotions. This is about identity. If you, deep down, see yourself as unworthy of love, people will reflect that belief. If you see yourself as someone who always gets what they want, people will treat you like a priority and like a VIP. Your concept of self decides the way other people behave towards you. So, if someone in your life is showing up in a way that you don't like, ask yourself this: what belief in me is making them act this way? And more importantly, how do I shift it? Most people live on autopilot, reacting to the way others treat them instead of realizing that they are the ones setting the rules. But when you understand that everyone is just responding to your dominant beliefs, you stop reacting and you start recreating. This means that you stop giving your attention, your focus, and your power to the version of them that you don't want. Instead, you start focusing on the version you desire. Now, here's the deeper truth behind this. The reality you're experiencing is just one of infinite possibilities. In the realm of parallel realities, every version of everything, every person, every situation, every outcome exists in its own separate reality. There is a reality where your boss treats you with respect. There is a reality where your boss hates you even more. And there is a reality where your boss isn't even your boss because they are a Victoria's Secret model. There is a reality where your partner is loving and committed. There is a reality where your friends always show up when they say they will. The version of someone you experience right now is simply the one that aligns with your current assumptions, beliefs, and emotional state. If you see someone as distant or unavailable or unreliable or critical, you are tapping into the reality where that version of them exists. But just as easily, you can shift to a reality where they show up as warm and loving and supportive, simply by shifting what you focus on and what you believe about them and about yourself. Think of it like a menu with endless options. Every possible version of someone or something is like a different choice on that menu. The one you experience is the one your inner world is currently choosing. But you can change that. You can take a look at the menu and decide that what you want instead is this, that over there, and a little bit of that sprinkled on top. If you change your thoughts, your assumptions, your focus, your beliefs, you're choosing a different version from the menu, where they already show up the way you want them to. In other words, you're not waiting for someone to change in your current reality. You're actually moving to a reality where they are already different. This is why persistence is key, because you have to keep holding that belief, that assumption, until you switch into the reality where they show up the way you want them to. And when you do, they will show up in your reality as a completely changed person. So, it's time to reset your assumptions. Right now, you are living in a reality shaped by the assumptions you've been holding about yourself, about others, and about how the world works. If you want to see real change, you must reset these assumptions. Think about the people in your life who seem stuck in the same patterns. Maybe you've been telling yourself, they always act like this, or this is just who they are. But what if that is not true? What if you've been unknowingly keeping them in that role by holding on to that assumption? We are constantly creating our reality based on what we believe, and that includes the behaviors and actions of the people around us. If you've been telling yourself that your partner is always distant or that your friend is always flaky, you're just reinforcing that belief, and they will keep showing up exactly as you expect. But when you reset your assumptions, you open the door to a completely different version of them, one that aligns with your new beliefs. The key to resetting your assumptions is realizing that nothing is set in stone. The moment you decide that the new reality is true, reality around you begins changing itself to match it. The world around you doesn't have to stay the same just because it's been that way for a long time. You have the power to create a new story, one where people act in ways that align with your desires and your expectations. To reset your assumptions, it's all about changing your inner story, the one you tell yourself every day about who people are and how they show up for you. The more you do this, the more you'll see your external world start to change. But you have to be consistent. You can't let old patterns or past behavior dictate your reality anymore. You have to trust that your new assumptions are already shifting things, even if you don't see immediate results. Here's how to reset your assumptions and create lasting change in your life. Step number 1. Catch yourself when you are in the old story. Every time you think, they never listen to me, or they always ignore me, stop. Recognize that thought is just an assumption. It is not a fact. It is not real. Your assumptions are just thoughts you've repeated so many times that they have become beliefs. But beliefs can be changed. It starts with recognizing when you're holding on to an old limiting story about someone. You need to catch yourself in the moment of thinking these things and realize that you don't have to keep thinking them. It's like you've been on autopilot, running these old scripts without even realizing it. But when you become aware of these thoughts, you create space for a new belief, for a new thought. Step number 2. When you catch yourself thinking this old story, immediately interrupt it. Instead of thinking, they never respect me, replace it with, they always value and respect me. Your new assumption becomes your new reality. Don't wait for proof. Create the proof by repeating your new story until it feels natural. The key is to make the new assumption so dominant in your mind that it becomes more believable than the old one. Keep shifting to the new story until it becomes second nature. The more you do this, the faster the old story will lose its power. This step is all about breaking the habit of the old thoughts and actively replacing them with your desired outcome, with your desired version of that person. Step number 3. I don't want you to just say the words. I want you to imagine it. I want you to feel it. I want you to embody it. Feel the shift as though the new version of them is already here. If they do anything that shows, even in a tiny way, that the change is happening, focus on that. Tell yourself, see, my boss truly respects me, or see, my specific person feels so close to me emotionally. The more real you can make it in your mind, the quicker it will show up in your reality. It is all about creating that emotional alignment. Emotions are incredibly powerful. Emotions are what fuels manifestation. When you tap into the feelings of having your desire already fulfilled, you send a message to your subconscious mind that this new version is the truth. You have to feel the change, not just think about it. As you embody the emotions associated with your desired reality, you start to manifest the external experience that matches these feelings. Step number 4. Even if they still act the same way at first, I don't want you to react. I want you to keep assuming that the new version of them is already real, and reality has to conform. In some cases, you may be tempted to look at the current situation and think, nothing is changing. But this is where persistence comes in. The more you stay focused on your new assumption, the more that assumption will become your reality. It's like planting a seed. You may not see the tree growing right away, but with consistent care, when you water it, when you take care of it, it will eventually sprout and grow and become a fully grown tree. So don't let the old behavior pull you back into the past. Persist and don't take no for an answer. Keep holding on to the new version. This step requires patience and focus, but it's the most important part of the process. Step number 5. You must release any attachment to the past. If you keep thinking, well, last time they were this way, or they've always been like this, you'll just stay stuck in that old version. Every time you think about them or the situation, remind yourself that the past doesn't determine the future. The past is just a series of mirror reflections that are no longer relevant to your new reality. The more you hold on to the past, the more you limit your ability to shift to the reality that you want. By letting go of the old results and fully stepping into the new version you've created in your mind, you allow space for that new reality to manifest. If thoughts about how this person has been in the past keep triggering you, you can use a powerful Neville Goddard technique called the I remember when technique. Tell yourself, I remember how disrespectful my boss used to be, and look at him now. He's so polite and respectful towards me. He's a completely changed person. By doing this, you keep the old, unwanted behavior in the past where it belongs, while at the same time reinforcing the new version of this person that you want to experience in your physical reality. But if you want to manifest changes in other people successfully and fast, there's something important that you need to understand first. Changing someone else isn't about controlling them. It's about shifting your assumptions so that they naturally show up differently in your reality. When you truly grasp that people can only ever reflect what you assume about them, you stop waiting for them to change and start manifesting the version of them that you want to experience. Before you even think about shifting someone else, you need to check in with yourself first, because the way others treat you is a direct reflection of who you believe you are. If you believe that you're someone who gets ignored, people will ignore you. If you believe you're always chosen, valued, respected, and loved, people will treat you accordingly. Your relationships are not about what others think of you. They're actually more about what you think about yourself. So I want you to ask yourself, do I see myself as someone who is constantly overlooked or as someone people admire and listen to? Do I assume people always disappoint me, or do I expect them to show up in the way I desire? Do I believe love, respect, and commitment are easy for me and that I deserve them? Or do I think that I don't deserve them or that I have to struggle for them? Shift your self-concept and watch how people begin treating you completely differently, without you having to do anything, without having to lift a finger to make it happen. So let's make this real. Pick someone in your life who isn't showing up the way you want them to. It could be a boss who doesn't appreciate you. It could be a partner who isn't committing. It could be a family member that gets on your nerves all the time. It could be a friend who has been difficult or distant. Whoever comes to mind. Now ask yourself, what is the story I've been telling about this person? Have you been seeing them as stubborn, distant, unkind, unreliable? Next, I want you to ask yourself, how have I been assuming that they are? Have you been expecting them to ignore you or reject you or disappoint you or get on your nerves or disrespect you? And then ask yourself, how has that assumption been playing out in my world? Have they been proving you right over and over again? Are there many people in your life who seem to treat you the same way? Because that indicates something about your own beliefs about yourself. And now, after you do this, I want you to decide that they have already changed. Right now, in this moment, they are no longer that old version. That old version is done. That old version is gone. Right now, at this very moment, they are the version you decided that they are. They are the version that you desire them to be. And this is not just wishful thinking, okay? It's a done deal. It's done. It's already done. You changed your mind? Doesn't matter. It's done now. If they have been distant, assume that they are now warm and attentive. It's done. It's a done deal. If they have been critical, I want you to assume right now that they admire and respect you. If they have been unreliable and flaky, I want you to assume right now that they are super consistent and very dependable. Now, I want you to close your eyes and feel it for a moment. Imagine them acting exactly how you want. And if you are not good with visuals, it doesn't matter. Imagine that they had been acting all day the way you wanted, and you just feel the feelings that you would feel if that were true. If you were thinking about how they were changed today, how would you feel right now? I want you to feel that. I want you to hear their voice saying the words that you've always wanted to hear. So if you want somebody to apologize for their behavior, I want you to hear the words in your mind. If you want your boss to give you a compliment, say what a good job you did, I want you to hear it. And I want you to feel the relief of knowing that they've already changed. They're a different person now. And the most important part, persist in it. Don't just do it once and be done with it and then think that this is not working. Your mind may try to drag you back into the old story. It might tell you, but they've always been this way. What if nothing changes? Don't fall for it. Every time that old belief creeps in, I want you to replace it immediately. If your mind says, they never listen to me, shift it to, they always hear me and they always understand me. If you start thinking, they don't respect me, affirm, they deeply respect me and value me. Make this your new reality. It's done. It's already done. Stick with it until your world reflects it back to you, because it will. Reality has no choice but to conform to what you persistently assume. So decide right now. This person is exactly as I want them to be. This person is already showing up exactly how I want. No waiting. No doubting, no reacting, just knowing. And watch how fast they change. Now, if you want the person in your life to show up differently, but you just can't let go of the old story no matter what, no matter how much you try, because you have such strong and emotional memories of them doing that thing that truly gets you down, truly angers you, truly annoys you. What I want you to do is I want you to go and watch the video that's on your screen right now, because it will show you an incredibly effective way to fix this issue so you can finally recreate the person you want. So click to watch it now, and I'll see you in the next video.